This episode is brought to you by Fond Recollections. Cherish the fond memories of your loved ones with their interactive living obituary.
He worked so hard to ensure we had a great life, but now he's gone. We miss him so much. One day our granddaughter won't remember him, or how wonderful he was. Fond Recollections offers us a chance to remember him when he was young and full of life. With Fond Recollections memorial plaques and website, we can upload all our photos and videos of him.
Visit fondrecollection.com today and cherish the happy memories of your loved ones.
Chapter 9, United We Remain. Judy Davis was in the biggest funk of her life. Everything that she had been planning for her wedding had fallen apart right before her eyes, and she couldn't do anything to stop it. Worse, she felt like it was all her fault for not being able to settle for the dress she had bought listening to Hannah Lee about trusting the fake-ass wannabe seamstress. Judy didn't look like herself at all. She had locked herself up in her apartment, refusing to talk to anyone or even go to work. She had called her boss and taken a week's sabbatical. And her boss, for once, had been sympathetic. She had been wearing the same stained pajamas for the past few days, not bothering to shower or change. Her hair was a mess. She hadn't brushed it in days, and her once gleaming golden waves now looked like dirty ramen noodles. Her eyes were swollen, her face was puffy from crying, and she just felt helpless and defeated. Her cell phone showed that she had 30 new unheard messages.
Hey, Judy, where are you, girl? We're all worried about you.
Holly's voice on her missed calls was saying,
Please call me back. I really need to talk to you. Love you. Bye.
Another beep. This time it was Teresa.
Hey, sis. I feel awful about your big day. But at least I can relate. I might be the only one who understands. So whenever you're ready to talk, I'm here. Love you.
There was another message.
Hey, Judy. It's Maria. You okay, girl? Get back to me, please. Let's get coffee, my treat.
Judy groaned. The cell phone showed another message yet again.
Judy, I'm so sorry. I feel like this is all my fault.
Hannah Lee's tearful voice played over the machine.
Please, at least meet me once. I feel like I've let my best friend down. I really need to talk to you. Call me back. Love you.
Judy was mad at herself because of how delusional she had allowed herself to become over a dress. How could she ever imagine winning the wedding challenge on her shitty budget? She must have been dreaming. Judy curled up into a ball and sobbed even more. Thinking about her dreams have made her realize that her so-called dream wedding would never be possible. Now, she had spent all her money she had on this disastrous wedding, and even if she hadn't managed to say, I do, all the vendors still needed to be paid. Suddenly, she heard a clacking noise, as if someone was trying to unlock her front door. Her first thought was a home invader, as Lucas was away on a business trip.
If you're a robber, you could go ahead and come in. I don't have anything valuable left. Oh, and if you're going to kill me, go for it. I don't have anything left of value in my life anymore. I'm tapped out.
Judy called out miserably.
Not even me?
Lucas said as he entered the apartment with a smile on his face.
Lucas!
Judy exclaimed, running into his arms.
I thought you wouldn't be back till Thursday.
I convinced my client to complete the business transaction early. I couldn't stand the thought of leaving you all alone,
said Lucas. He looked at Judy's puffy, tear-filled eyes and red nose, unable to believe her disheveled appearance. He had never seen her look so beat up in his life. This was the woman who made it a point to wake up before him so she could run to the bathroom, brush her hair, put on lip gloss and mascara so that when he saw her first thing in the morning, she would look amazing.
Baby, what happened? Have you been in here crying this whole time?
He kissed her forehead. Then he led her to the couch. He took a wet paper towel from the counter and wiped away smudges from his fiancé's tear-stained cheeks.
Kind of,
Judy replied dejectedly.
Now you see me look like this, I understand if you don't want to marry me anymore.
She sniffled. Lucas looked indignant.
Is that what you think of me? That I won't want to marry you if your hair is messy or you're not wearing makeup?
He shook his head.
Judy, I think you're the most beautiful woman on the planet, and that has nothing to do with your looks. Of course you're beautiful on the outside, but I fell in love with what's in here,
he said, gently placing his hand over her heart.
Really?
Judy looked at him with the big, watery eyes.
Really?
He said. He kissed her again.
Nothing, and I mean nothing, is ever going to change to prevent me from marrying you. Not even a stupid, itchy, industrial-strength adhesive glue-made dress, that's for sure.
He looked at her intently.
I would marry you even if you gained 100 pounds and accidentally shit on yourself when you thought you had to pass gas.
He smiled at Judy, looking for some sort of smiling gesture.
Even when you're old and loony or have to start wearing dentures that are too big for your mouth, I'm not going anywhere. I'll always love you,
he said solemnly. Judy couldn't help but smile.
Accidentally shit on myself?
She laughed, mimicking a person trying not to use the toilet.
I will even love you if you look toothless and become truly demented.
Lucas did his best impression of a loony bagged lady, and Judy burst out laughing. Both Lucas and Judy collapsed into a fit of giggles, and this time Judy's eyes were filled with tears of laughter instead of tears of sadness. She sat upright to correct Lucas's previous statement.
Anyway, sir, I don't fart, nor do I pass gas, smarty pants. I simply whisper sweet nothings in my panties at times,
Judy remarked kiddingly.
Ah, yes, that's right, I forgot.
Lucas shook his head in agreement, pleased that Judy had forgot about the disastrous ordeal for the moment. Judy snuggled close to Lucas and kissed his cheek.
You really are the one.
Lucas cocked his eyebrow and said,
I'm the one for you.
Judy laughed. At that moment, she knew she would be all right. So, what if the wedding didn't work the first time around? Lucas was in this with her for life. They had plenty of time to get it right. As long as she had Lucas by her side, Judy was sure she would get it right. Teresa, on the other hand, was still dealing with the demise of her wedding dreams as well. She wasn't as upset as Judy, mainly because she knew she had means to do it again, and to get it right this time. Teresa vowed to check on weather forecasts this time before making any grand plans. Having the one wedding rain upon was bad. Having another wet wedding would be the disaster from which she could never recover. Teresa hadn't given herself time to mope and sulk. She knew that if she let herself get in a funk and continue with negative thinking, no one would be able to pull her out. So, she had immersed herself in work. She began taking up extra shifts at the hospital so that she wouldn't have any free time to let her mind wander. Victor had been a huge support system for her throughout this time. Her amazing fiancé had spent every minute of his free time with her and was even taking her out on a romantic date that day. Teresa felt unbelievably lucky to have him in her life, even though her attempt at marrying her man had gone awry. Still, she knew that he loved her and had no doubt that they would get married for sure soon. Teresa was making the final rounds at work. She had been in her scrubs and on her feet all day, so she wasn't really looking forward to dressing up and going out. She thought that she could maybe convince Victor to stay in or keep it casual instead of going somewhere fancy. She loved her fiancé with all her heart, but sometimes his mother's influence rubbed off on him. He would take her to expensive steak and wine dinners when Teresa would have been happy with grabbing a salad and a sweet tea at any fast food restaurant. Teresa had completed her final rounds, cleaned her space at the nursing station, and was getting ready to go home. She had just started driving towards her apartment when Victor called.
Hey babe, we on for tonight?
He asked.
I'm so glad you called, babe. I just got off a 12-hour shift at the hospital, and I'm beat.
Teresa whined.
Oh no.
Victor looked disappointed.
Does this mean you're bailing on our date today?
Oh, no.
Teresa clarified.
I just hope we could stay in and cuddle, watch TV, and chill. How about it?
Victor laughed.
Watch TV and chill, huh? Sure, I'm in. I'll drop by your place around 8.
Great.
Teresa smiled.
Looking forward to it, babe.
Me too.
Victor replied.
You order the pizza, I'll bring the wine.
Actually, babe, can it be vodka instead? Not much in the mood for wine.
Victor laughed.
Oh, Teresa, you must be really tired to prefer vodka over a nice wine.
Isn't that why you love me?
Teresa teased.
Yes, that's why I love you.
He replied warmly. Teresa reached home and quickly hopped in the shower. She didn't want any of the hospital germs getting in her house. She slipped on a comfy pair of shorts and tank top towel, dried her hair. She didn't really feel like getting dressed up, so she just put on some lipstick and perfume. Half an hour later, Victor was ringing the doorbell.
Hello, love of my life.
He greeted her affectionately.
You look gorgeous.
Teresa smiled.
Tell me something I don't know.
Teresa joked.
Come on in. The food's already here. I ordered your favorite, pepperoni and cheese, and some spicy chicken wings too.
That's my kind of gal.
Victor kissed her, pleased.
I brought your favorite American light beer plus your vodka,
he said. Teresa was delighted.
You're my kind of guy,
she replied in the same tone. They settled into Teresa's couch and started browsing movies. They settled on a horror movie, Teresa's favorite genre. To her dismay, the movie starting with a wedding scene. Apparently, the bride was the monster in the movie that killed her groom.
Well, at least our wedding could have been worse,
Teresa said wryly.
Your bride could have been a demon from the depths of hell.
My bride is an angel fallen from heaven,
Victor replied.
You're such a cornball.
Teresa laughed.
No, I'm serious.
Victor replied earnestly.
I knew you were disappointed that it rained on our wedding day. I hope you didn't take it as a bad omen, and I hope it didn't put you off from marrying me.
Of course not.
Teresa dissented.
You know I'm not superstitious. If it rained, it rained. I might be a control freak, but even I should have known that I can't control the weather. Yet.
Teresa grinned. Victor wrapped his arm around her shoulder and kissed her cheek.
I know. That's why I'm so in love with you.
Victor replied.
I just wanted to make sure that you were okay and you didn't feel too upset or sad. I should know. I was pretty sad as well.
Teresa sighed.
It just wasn't meant to be, I guess. At least on that day.
Teresa paused.
Although, I know one person who was probably ecstatic that our wedding was postponed.
My mother will come around,
Victor admitted.
You'll see. She's just weary of strangers, and you're so...
Ghetto.
Teresa finished for him.
Different was the word I was looking for.
Victor said amusedly.
I don't know, babe. Sometimes I can see her looking at me as if she's thinking, what the fuck is this creature doing with my precious son?
Teresa said sadly.
Usually, I don't give a rat's ass about what people think of me. I love myself, but I really wanted your mom to like me. For your sake more than mine.
Just give her time,
Victor said earnestly.
She'll grow to love you the way I do once she gets to know you.
Teresa snorted in disbelief.
Yeah, when pigs fly. I bet she's popping bottles of champagne celebrating the fact that our wedding didn't happen.
My mother might be snobby, but she isn't that callous. She just has that old world way of thinking that anyone who comes from a different background from us is out to get us.
He sighed.
The old us against the world mentality.
Teresa leaned over and took his hand.
Now, it's us against the world. You and me and no one else.
She whispered.
You and me against the world, babe.
Victor smiled happily.
I can't wait to marry you. I love you.
Love you more.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you had fun or picked up anything from this episode, please assist us by hitting the like, subscribe, and notification buttons. You can also comment and share our content. These small things really help our channel and mean a lot to us. Also, special thanks to our Patreon supporters. You guys are the heartbeat of this channel, and we can't thank you enough for being so generous. If you would like to join our Patreon community, please click on the link below. You can contribute as little as $5 per month. You can get all kinds of perks. You can even buy merchandise of your favorite characters at our shop store. Click on the link provided below. That's going to do it for now. Until next time, remember you are cherished by us. So be kind and know that we consider you as family.